Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be checking out this new website here. Someone over on Discord actually messaged me and they wanted me to check out their website. So you can go on here just like any other CrackMe site and you can just pick a CrackMe to complete, or you can upload your own. And a cool feature about this website is the leaderboard. It'll pretty much just tell you who solved the most CrackMes or who created the most CrackMes and so on. There's a bunch of other options here, but that's pretty much this website here. And I was recommended to solve one of these CrackMes, so I'm gonna go ahead and solve this one. Okay, so this CrackMe is called Hack This Game. It's actually a little bit different from a lot of the other CrackMes I've completed on this channel. This is gonna be the first like hacking CrackMe that I've completed on the channel here, so let's get right into it. So it says here, we need to hack our way through the challenges to reach the flag at the end of the game. Patching isn't allowed and we need to edit the memory to win. So I already went ahead and downloaded the CrackMe to get started. So let's go ahead and run this. Let's see what this is. So it looks like it's a simple game here. It's like a 2D platformer game, and we just collect these coins and we try to progress through the level. Okay, let me get on here, and it says over here collect 5 million gold, and then we have these like creatures. Oh, that just kills us. Alright, so we need to collect 5 million gold. So obviously we're not gonna sit here and go down. Yeah, we're not gonna sit here and try to collect 5 million of these gold coins one by one. So we're gonna be using CheatEngine to complete this. I feel like a lot of us who have hacked games in the past, we've come across CheatEngine and we've used it a couple times. When we open it up, we're gonna press on this magnifying glass here because we want to go ahead and attach our game to CheatEngine. This process list will pop up. Select the game process. So we can see right here, hack this game. We're just gonna click on it or double click on it. Since we know that we need to collect 5 million gold, we can actually see that we have some variable keeping track of our gold collected, I guess. So we're gonna go into where it says value and we're gonna type in that number. So 34. I'm gonna press on first scan. Leave this on exact value. We know what our value is, and leave it as 4 bytes. We're gonna press on first scan. And what's going to happen here is it's going to go ahead and scan the entire game, and it's going to find us all the addresses with 34 in it as a value. So we found 5,114. So that's a lot. You know, we could sit here and try to figure out which one of these it is. But what we're going to want to do is try to update this number some more. So I just collected a bit more gold. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type in 40. And I'm going to go ahead and press on next scan. So we're going to scan through all the addresses that we've collected, and we're going to check and see which one got updated. So let's go ahead and do that. So it showed up one address. Sometimes there's going to be multiple in here. You can collect some more gold and press next scan and see if we can filter out one specific address. But since we already found one, which is most likely the one we're looking for, we're going to press on this little arrow here or double click on it, and it'll bring it down into this menu down here. Once we're in this menu, we now need to modify the value here. So we're going to double click onto value, and this menu will pop up, and in this menu we're going to type in 5 million. We're going to press on OK, and now to update the memory address, we're going to now need to collect 1 gold. And as soon as we do that, it looks like all the gold has disappeared, as well as the text above my head, which is probably an instruction in the game that will pretty much do that. Hopefully I don't die, because I died. Okay, let me do that all over again. There you go. There we go. And one more, and one more. There we go. Alright, let me get ready to make this jump. Alright, perfect. Okay, so you can see we've advanced. Let's go. So we're now on to the second level. So this second level says you need to jump higher. Okay, so this fruit or whatever this is, cherries or whatever, I don't know what that is, to be honest, is giving us a little jump boost, but it looks like we're not jumping high enough. regardless. So what do we want to do in this case? Well, since we can't actually patch the program, so we can't actually look into the code and modify our jump power, I guess, we're gonna have to come up with a new way of modifying our player's position. I mean, I kind of spoiled it already, but we do need to change our player's position upwards. So there's a couple of ways we could do this. The first, trying to find the player's Y coordinates. We would try to see the old and new values. So this would be one, like this jump here, and then I would collect this and then try to get another jump to see if that would work. But I then thought of an easier way of doing this. I did a bit of research, and this is the conclusion that I came to. I found out that Godot actually uses C++ internally, even though that it uses GDScript. So GDScript is probably Godot script or something, I'm not entirely sure. If you have a vector2, it will look something like this in C++. So you would have a struct vector2 with your x coordinate and your y coordinate. It's essentially just a wrapper around your C++ struct. What does this mean? Why is this important? Is because the way these variables are stored in memory inside of a struct is that they're actually stored right next to each other, and I will actually show you guys this later. But what I mean is, if I were to find this one variable in memory, I could actually find this one as well right next to it. And if this was a vector3, so a 3D game, it would have like a float z right here, and we would actually be able to find this as well. Floats are 4 bytes. We find this one, we look 4 bytes over, we'll find this one, we look 8 bytes over, and we'll find our z position if it was a vector3. But in this case, we're only interested in a vector2. And don't worry guys, if you don't understand this, I'll actually show you guys all of this right now actually. So let's get started. So we're gonna do a new scan. So let's just go ahead and clear all of this, and then we're gonna do a new scan here. Once we've gone ahead and selected new scan, we actually want to go ahead and swap this to an unknown initial value. The reason we're doing unknown initial value is because we don't know our current character's position. The first scan we're gonna do is actually look for our x coordinate, because like I said, we can easily just find a y right next to it. We actually want to float here, so let's do that, and let's swap it back to an unknown. So the reason we want to float is the x and y coordinates are actually floats. They do have a decimal. Once we've done this, we're going to press on first scan. Now nothing is going to pop up except for all the addresses that are floats. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to where it says scan type, and we're going to do increase value, because you want to remember x will increase this way obviously and decrease the other way. We're going to press on next scan. Now we're going to move our character forward a little bit. Next scan, and as you can see, our addresses are going down. So now we're at 6,000. Let's go one more time, 5,000. That's still a lot. Let's go ahead and move the opposite direction. So we're going to do decrease the value, and now we're going to move back some. Next scan, right away that jumped straight to 9. Let's look at here and let's see if we can find anything that would be useful. So sometimes this happens. I'm not entirely sure why this happens, but sometimes when we're scanning, it might not pick up the address. So we have to do a new scan. We're going to do the same thing again. Float, unknown initial, first scan. And we're going to swap to increase value, next scan, and right here I'm just going to swap it to decreased. Next scan, next scan. Let's do one more. I usually like to stop around 20 or 26 because, like we saw what happened before, it kind of just like skipped the address. Not entirely sure why that happens. If someone knows, please do let us know in the comments. We're gonna pick these 500 ones, so let's just go through these one by one, and hopefully we find one quickly. I'm just gonna do 610 for these. Like I said, I click on value and I press Ctrl E, and then I press enter. I just paste in my 610 until I find the one, and as soon as we find the one, it'll be quite obvious. These ones here could also be it, not sure. Oh, that one didn't really do it, but let's go through here. I mean, you probably could narrow it down to like 10 searches, but I think we'll just stick with this. And there we go. I think we just found our 610. So let's move this one in here. And let's just test it again to make sure. We do like a 620. Actually, we could go backwards. Let's do 590. Whoops. Yep. So there's our x-axis right here. I'm gonna swap the description to x. Now we can move our character and we can actually see the value changing. Right? You see that it's changing. Now we want to actually find our y-axis. This part is important because this relates to what I was talking about with the struct. And how each one of these floats are 4 bytes, because now we examine this address in memory. I'm going to go ahead and right click on this address and I'm going to press browse this memory region. When we do that, we'll have this memory viewer menu that pops up, and what we're most interested in is these hex values right here. If we look at the address right here, 1BCC 2BD 3480, it actually lines up with this address right here. And also, like I mentioned earlier, floats are 4 bytes, so that would mean 1 2 3 4. These 4 bytes here correspond with the x-axis. We can actually confirm this if we take this value 545 whatever it. Let's just copy that. I hope that let's do an even number. Actually, let's just do 545. We're gonna take it to this floating point converter website. I'm gonna pop it in here. 545. Now look at the hexadecimal representation. This is actually in little endian format, so it's actually backwards. It's backwards here, but right here it's not. So 44. That's right. 44 08 08 40 40 and 00. So that is the value. This is hexadecimal representation of 545. So that would mean in our explanation, float y should be the 4 bytes right next to it. And there's only one way to find out. As I go in this game, I press on my spacebar. What happens? The 4 bytes next to it are changing, right? So that just confirms, and I can walk forward. These bytes are going to change as well. And that just confirms our theory, or well, not really a theory, but confirms the explanation as to why this struct is quite important. Now we want to get this address here to modify it. So how do we do that? I'm going to go ahead and go to the first byte inside the 4 byte list. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to right click. And I'm going to press add this address to the list. What's going to pop up is this menu here. And in this menu, it's quite important that you swap it from byte to float. The reason is, remember, we are interested in a float value. So that would be these 4 bytes here. And now we're going to go ahead and swap this to y-axis. So we're going to close out of this. Now we have our y-axis. Now if I jump, we can actually watch that value change. The value actually decreases as we go up. The reason that happens is because the x and y axes, it actually starts on the top left corner. This is our x and this is our y. Let's say this is our player. If we move our player closer to the 0, you know, it obviously will decrease this way, right? You need to think of this like a top-down game. As if you're looking at your character from the top, think of it as our character is trying to move forward, but there's something pulling it back down. So we go to the value. I'll double click onto it. Let's put something lower in here, like -100. Let's see, that's not enough. Let's do -500. I clicked the wrong one. Let's put our character back to where he was, 640. -500. There we go. He's going all the way up there. -1100. Almost. I don't want to go too high, because what happens is you actually fly out the map if you go too high. Oops, I think I broke something. I don't know if I broke anything, but the arrows are telling me to go this way, so I'm gonna go this way. I definitely broke something. Oh, hold up. There we go. Looks like we had to go this way and go down here. So it says here, congratulations. Let me actually make this bigger. Congratulations, you are rich and can jump high. Base 64, I hacked the game. CMA, blah blah blah. Provide a write-up as well. So this is our key, or flag that it was saying we're gonna receive. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Looks like 2 dudes already made a solution here. password is this. I don't know what that is. Anyways, you know, you would just come back to the website, pop your solution in here, and you're good to go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and learned something new. If you have never used CheatEngine before, I do recommend you guys go on ahead and give it a try. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.